Hello students, good day. Today's topic is open source philosophy. So let's see what is open source philosophy with an example. You are buying or downloading a gaming software, right? So normally these softwares comes with compiled ready to run version. So compiled means you will be available with the binary code. So the source code will be converted to binary code. You have only the binary code. So it is next to impossible to modify the compiled version of the software, right? But at times we feel the need to change certain feature of the software, but we are unable to do so because we can have only the binary version. So think about a situation where you have the source code, so original programming code, and you want to improve the gaming software. You want to add some features to the gaming software. So if you know, if you have the source code and if you have the access to modify the source code, you can do so and you can make the program to work as you wish. Okay, so this is the concept of open source philosophy. So in this chapter, we will study about the software which are developed collaboratively and they can be modified as well. So such softwares are available in different format like free software, open source software, free and open source software, free or liberal open source software. So you can see the common term free here. So this free does not mean free of cost. It means freedom to use. Okay, right. So we'll see one by one in detail. So the first one is a free software. The formal definition of free software was given in 1983 by Richard Stallman. So he is the man who found the concept of free software. He insisted that a free software should give the following 4 freedoms to the user. Freedom 0 is the freedom to run the program for any purpose. So you can download and you can run the program for any purpose, for commercial use or for the individual use, right? So we can run the program for any purpose. Then the freedom to study how program works and change it to make it to what you wish. So you can read the program, you can have the source code, so you can read the source code and you can understand how it works. Okay. The freedom to redistribute copies so as to help your neighbor. So you are having the software and you can copy and you can you can redistribute the copies. Okay, you can just pass the software to your friends or your relatives, your neighbors. Okay, so the freedom to improve the program and release your improvement. So you can modify the program and you can give the new release. After modification, you can release your improvements to the public. Okay, so you can redistribute that also, so that the whole community benefits. So these are all the 4 freedoms Richard Stallman insisted for the free software. So any software which is to be free software should compile all these freedoms. Okay, so example of free software are Linux kernel, MySQL relational database, Apache web server, OpenOffice.org, this is the Office suite, and then text and latex typesetting systems. These are all free softwares. So the next concept is open source software. So this open source software, on the other hand, was introduced in the late 1990s by group of individuals as a reaction to the limitation of free software. Okay, free source software. So there are some limitations in free software. So to overcome that one, the another term open source software were found. Okay, the main difference they presented was that they changed the emphasis from freedom to security. Right. So for example, you have the software and you have the source code, everything you can do. You can modify everything. But if the founder or if the person wantedly doing some modification to crash the program, he can do so. Okay, because there is no restriction. So it is completely free. So to enhance the security, they develop this open source software. Right. So these softwares can also be modified, redistributed without any limitation as with the free software. Okay, so these softwares may come with a free cost or minimum cost, right? So here the main thing is it includes a license for the programmer to change the software in any way they choose. So little licensing is there, so the person who is having the license only modify the software. Okay, in this way they are enhancing, they are ensuring the security. Okay, so this software open source software refers to a software whose source code is available to customer and can be modified, redistributed without any limitation. Okay, OSS may come with free of cost or with payment of nominal cost in the name of development support of software. It usually includes a license for programmers to change the software in any way they choose. So they can modify the code, but only the license is needed to modify the code. Okay, so in free software there is no licensing, no anybody can change the code. So here we need the license, so they are ensuring the security. So example of open source softwares are LibreOffice, Mozilla Firefox, GIMP, VLC. So GIMP is just like a Photoshop program, and VLC Media Player, Linux, Blender, Python, PHP, Shortcut. So these are all examples for open source software. The next concept is FOSS and FLOSS. Software which is free as well as open belongs to free and open source software. So it's a free software, also the open source software. Okay, so both combined is called free and open source software. So the terms FOSS and FLOSS are used to refer a software that is licensed under the license that FSF and OSI approve. So FSI stands for Free Software Foundation, OSI stands for Open Standard Initiative. So these are all the organizations which are responsible for free software and open source software, right? So a software which combines both FSF and OSI is called free and open source software. So we are using FLOSS, so free liber open source software. So here they are emphasizing L to show this is not free of cost, this is the freedom. So liber means freedom. Okay, so to avoid confusion they are using the term free liber open source software. Right, let's see some of the example of FLOSS or FOSS. So operating system, we have Linux, Ubuntu, Google Chrome OS, Android Smart and Symbian Smart. These are all examples of FOSS or FLOSS operating system. And graphics and multimedia, we have GIMP. So this is alternative for Photoshop, and Blender. This is a 3D modeling tool. Songbird, this is like iTunes. So these iTunes and Photoshops are proprietary software. So we'll see what is proprietary software in later chapter. Okay, and Audacity, this is the audio editor. And Order, digital audio workstation. FSpot is a photo manager. These are all the different softwares available. Under Office software, we have OpenOffice and NeoOffice. Okay, so this OpenOffice is comparable to Microsoft Office. We have Word, PowerPoint, Excel, right? So like Microsoft Office suite, we have the OpenOffice Office suite, and we have NeoOffice and then PDF Creator. In internet applications, we have Apache Web Server, Mozilla Foundation's Mozilla Firefox, Mozilla Thunderbird, it is a mail client like Outlook Express, and we have Google Chrome. So this is browser, right? So under each category we have FOSS or FLOSS. So instead of buying the proprietary software, instead of buying the licensed software, we can also make use of this software which are free of cost, mostly free of cost, and it comes with the source code. And then other softwares, we have Celestia, this is space simulation software, Flight Gear, Flight Simulator, Second Life, Wine. And program related software, we have Eclipse, PHP, Perl, Python, MySQL, Java. So these are all FOSS or FLOSS. So we know Python program we can use without any restriction. MySQL also we can download easily without any restriction, and we can make use of it, right? Other definitions. So we have GNU. So GNU stands for GNU is not Unix. This is called recursive acronym. So GNU, you can see it here. GNU stands for again GNU, and N stands for not, U stands for Unix. Okay. So this GNU, so it is a project, it emphasizes on freedom. So this project was initiated by Richard Stallman with an objective to create an operating system. Okay, now this is not restricted to only operating system, we have wide variety of softwares available under this GNU. Then we have FSF, Free Software Foundation. So this is the organization which is responsible for free software management. Okay, so this is to support free software movement. And OSI stands for Open Source Initiative. So this organization is dedicated to promote open source softwares. We have W3C. W3C stands for World Wide Web Consortium. So this is responsible for producing the software standards for World Wide Web. So these terms are very, very important. We have freeware. So freeware is different from free software, right? So freeware, it is free of cost. It can be copied and distributed, but cannot be modified. So here the source code will not be available. So you cannot change the source code. Okay. So in free software, we can change the source code. The source code will be available, we can modify and we can redistribute the modified version also. Here that is not possible. We can use, we can copy, we can distribute, we can copy, we can send to our friends, but we cannot change the source code. Then we have proprietary software. So these softwares neither open nor freely available. Okay, so these softwares cannot be copied, cannot be redistributed, cannot be modified because there is no source code. So we have to pay and get the license to use this software. Okay, so Windows operating system is the best example for proprietary software. Then we have Adobe Flash Player and iTunes, Photoshop, Mac OS. So these are all examples for proprietary softwares. Then we have shareware. So these sharewares can be redistributed for certain period of time. So you can see all the trial versions of the software. And if you buy any antivirus software, you can use it only for limited period of time. So that type of softwares are called shareware. So it will not be available with the source code, we cannot modify, but we can use it only for a particular period of time. So that is called a shareware. So we have public domain softwares. So this public domain software is not copyrighted software. So the simplest way to make a program free software is to put it in the public domain. So any software, if you want to just set it free, you can set it as a public domain software. That means uncopyrighted. There is no need for any copywriting. We are just setting it for the public. So it may or may not be come with the source code, right? So this allows people to share the program and their improvements if they are like-minded. But it also allows uncooperative people to convert the program into proprietary software. For example, if you are giving any one software as a public domain software, right? So anybody can view the source code, anybody can modify the source code, right? So a person who is not willing to make it, who's ready to change the software, but he set it as a proprietary software. After modification, because we don't have any copyright here, he made this software as a proprietary software. So once it is proprietary software, the other persons who are going to use after the modification should pay or should get license to use the software, right? So this is a difficulty in public domain software. To avoid that one, we have the copyleft software. So this copyleft says that anyone who redistributes the software with or without changes must pass along the freedom to further copy and change it, right? So this copyright guarantees that every user has the freedom. Okay, copyleft is the general method for making a program and requiring all the modified and extended version of the program to be free as well. Okay, so in the public domain software, since we don't have the copyright, the person who is modifying the public domain software can make the program as a proprietary software, right? So he is restricting the freedom from there, from any of the that particular point. If anybody wants to use the software, that will be available as only as the proprietary software, right? So to avoid that one, we have the copyleft software. It gives the freedom. So after modification also, it should be given as a free software, right? So that is the copyleft software. So next we have copyright and then other licenses. So copyright is a legal term to describe the rights of the creator of an original creative work. So in software copyright is used by the software developers or software companies or proprietary software companies to prevent the unauthorized copying of their softwares. So free and open source licenses also rely on copyright law to enforce their terms. So copyright is we are getting approval to use that only for a particular purpose. So this is my own work. So that is called the copyright. We have the right to do. Okay, so licenses are the permissions given to use a product or someone's creation by the copyright holder. So we can give license to use our copyrighted material for specific period of time under specific conditions. That is called license. Okay, a software license is a document that provides legally binding guidelines to the person who holds it for the use and distribution of the software. It typically provides end users with the right to make one or more copies of the software without violating the copyrights. Okay, let's see the common open source licenses. We have GNU General Public License, GNU Lesser General Public License, BSD license, MIT license and Apache license. So these are all the common license for softwares. Okay, so that's all about today's class. So we have learned about Open source. What is open source? What is a free software? Difference between free software and freeware, shareware, right? And other examples of FOSS and FLOSS. Then we have seen about copyright and then licensing. So we are moving on to the assessment. So just go through the link I have attached here. There is a simple missing word puzzle. You'll be having the box, so you have to drag and drop the matching words to that box. So have fun. Thank you.